Thank you to each and every one of you who came out, some on pretty short notice. My planning is never as good as it needs to be, but somehow people respond and they do. It's friends and family, and I can't ask for more, and that's the kind of community that you guys from out of town are visiting. We are a friends and family community, and we're proud to call it Quincy home, and Illinois even home, although we do need to change some things, and I think you're the change agent that we're looking for. It's been an extremely difficult time this last couple of years, especially with the president and the Congress going the way they've gone on their track. And gas prices here, as you've seen, are extraordinarily out of line. And even for those folks that can avoid the gas tax in Illinois and go to Missouri, we haven't seen gas prices there over $4 in our lifetimes. So, I mean, this is just a problem. You know, in Chicago Cranes this morning, they were talking about brownouts happening in Illinois, anticipated over the course of the next summer. You know, they were certainly talking about criminal bill, and everything that I've been seeing you talk about and this team talk about over the last 3, 4, 5 months has been right on target. These are the kinds of issues that we need to have addressed, and we need to have somebody in there that can turn this state around. So we are very, very proud to have you guys here. We want you to keep coming back. But I guess my immediate introduction challenge is to introduce Shannon Tracy. She's running for comptroller, and she's up from the Wheaton area, thereabouts?
Crystal Lake.
Well, that's McHenry County.
Yeah.
That's even more God's country. Now, some of the I do want these folks to see. Jim Durkin is here. He's the Republican leader in the House. Say hi. So it's always great to have you over here. Of course, we got Randy and Jill, and we can't ask for anything more than that, can we? Jill? I am getting to you, but I want a couple other dignitaries. You know, Ryan Niekamp right there, he is our county clerk. And I know you're here to talk about getting out the vote.
Yes.
He's already had 50 folks vote yesterday.
Wow.
Okay, so he was thinking we'd have 300 by now, but he's disappointed. Then Bryden Corey, he's our county treasurer. So give him all the claps you can now, because the property tax bills are going out in about 2 weeks.
That's the most popular guy in the county.
Anyway, so you got a good cross section. Some political folks, most of us we want good government, and we are so pleased to be able to have you here. So Shannon, I'm going to turn it on over to you to get into your background and why you think this office is so important and what you can do to make it better. Okay? Welcome to
I am Shannon Teresi. I'm running for comptroller because, as you know, Illinois is the most corrupt, fiscally mismanaged state in the nation, and we are going to change that. Like many of you, I grew up in Illinois. I'm a lifelong Illinois resident with a cornfield in my backyard, and I'm running against Susanna Mendoza, who is not qualified. I am a CPA. I am a certified fraud examiner, a certified internal auditor with a proven track record and financial leadership experience the state has never had before in that office. I will crush corruption for the state of Illinois. And I have the honor to run with one of the most qualified, proven leaders that the state has ever seen. And we need all of you to work together to push out the vote, because there is hope in Illinois. For the first time, there is hope, and we can dream, and dream even bigger than we've had in the past. So I would like to introduce John Millheiser. He's running for Secretary of State. He's a U.S. Attorney and Sangamon County State's Attorney, and he will address corruption in the Secretary of State's office.
Thank you, Shannon. It is great to be here, and glad to be back. So I was the U.S. Attorney under the last administration.
in this area, 46 counties in the Central District. Really enjoyed working with the great law enforcement that you have in this community to attack crime, to attack corruption, and I'm going to take that same experience to statewide office to attack that corruption that has been there for decades. And while we can prosecute it, guess what? It doesn't get rid of it. So who here thinks because Mike Madigan was indicted a couple months ago that corruption's done in Illinois? No, heck no, it's still there. It's ingrained in the way they do business. But we're going to attack it by electing strong conservative Republican leaders to statewide office that will take back this state and get rid of that corruption and provide the good government that everyone here deserves and everyone in Illinois deserves. You know, as we travel around the state, talking to concerned citizens, meeting with people, in every county there is excitement. There is excitement, and there are people that weren't involved in politics before that are standing up and saying, enough is enough. I'm not going to sit back and let this happen to my schools or my communities with the crime, with the nonsense going on, and they're fed up. You know, I'll go to meetings and I always ask, how many people are running for office here that have never run for something before? Every time, multiple people raise their hand that are getting involved and saying, you know what, I want to help. I want to help solve the problem and fix the problem in Illinois, which we are going to do this year. We have an opportunity to do it. We all need to make sure we come together, row in the same direction, because I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Those folks in power, they're not just going to lay down and give it up. We are going to have to fight for it, claw and fight for it through November, and we can get it done. And this is the ticket to get it done. These are the folks with Richard Irvin at the top of the ticket to make sure that red wave that's coming across the country does not stop at the border of Illinois, but continues through it. And we elect strong Republicans statewide. With your support, we will, and that's going to include the Secretary of State's office with John Milhiser as the next Secretary of State. Now I want to introduce the next Attorney General, a good friend, Steve Kim.
Well, thank you for having all of us here today. You know, I didn't have breakfast, so this fried chicken's really driving me crazy right now. But yeah, I've decided to run for Attorney General because I'm really tired of the crime and corruption that we are facing every day here in Illinois. You know, my father came to this country searching for the American dream, and he came to Illinois. And at that time, there was so much opportunities here. It was such a great state. But right now, I don't know if my kids and my grandchildren would stay here because things are falling apart when we see whatever's happening here in Illinois. We have corruption that is absolutely out of control. We have an Attorney General that when he ran for Attorney General, he talked about the issue of corruption. But when Michael Madigan was indicted, what did he do? He sent out a press release about TikTok. What? It might be because he took $2.5 million from Michael Madigan. Right? We have crime that's absolutely rampant throughout the state. You know, I'm up north in the Chicagoland area. Yesterday there was it's probably one of the largest McDonald's in the middle of downtown. There was a shooting. There was a shooting that killed a person, I think injured 5 others. And this is happening on a daily basis. And we need to stop this. And rather than coming out here, you know, we're both Pritzker and Kwame wanting to defund the police, which I think is an absolutely crazy notion. We need to defend the police.
Yes.
And that's why I think everyone is ready for change here. And I hear it from everybody, from family and friends in all the blue areas of Illinois also. You have people in Chicago that are sick and tired of what's happening. So we're going to see this great red wave, but we are going to really need your help, and we're going to really need your support, because as we all know, Mr. Pritzker is not going to just lie there and let this happen to him, right? So I am so proud to be running with this incredible slate, this incredible team, and I want to introduce you now to State Representative Avery Bourne, who I believe will be the best Illinois Lieutenant Governor we've ever had.
Thank you all for having me. I've been a state rep for 7 years, and so I know the unique challenge of shaking people's hands at a chicken dinner, so I appreciate your patience with us when we come around. I'm Avery Bourne, and I'm running for Lieutenant Governor with Richard Irvin. By way of brief introduction, I'm from Christian County, south of Springfield. My husband, son, and I live on my family's sesquicentennial farm, so We've been growing, we just saw beans coming out of the ground yesterday morning. I mean, we've been growing crops there for the last 150 years. And you all know that's not something that you can pick up and move and go to another state where it's friendlier for business or friendlier for you to live and raise your family. And so that's one of the reasons I decided to get interested in policy and in changing this state. I saw my generation leaving. I've got 2 brothers, one's now in Dallas, one's in St. Louis. And I want a state where they can come back to. I want a state where my son can grow up and choose to live here as well. And so I got interested in politics, became the youngest state rep in Illinois history, and have taken on some really tough fights and important issues in Springfield. Was able to be on the Education Funding Commission, where we changed our school funding to better fund the schools that need it most. Was able to serve on the redistricting committee, where we fought really hard against these crazy gerrymandered maps that Pritzker promised he'd veto, and then really liked how it looked politically for them and signed them anyway. And I've been able to serve on the Legislative Ethics Commission with Senator Tracy, and where we have seen firsthand the huge changes that are going to have to take place if you want an Illinois government that's truly free from corruption and where politicians are held accountable. And so I saw these issues, was really tired of fighting losing battles, and realized we've got to do more. I looked at my son. Any of you who are parents know that when you have kids, the weight of the world becomes a lot heavier on your shoulders to make this a better place for them. And so I wanted to do something to make this a better state. And when I met Richard Irvin and heard about his lifetime of service to his community, to our country, his background of truly living the American dream and giving back in a community that's primarily Democratic, implementing conservative policies, and it's worked. He backed our police, and guess what? It's the community safer. I realized this is the ticket to beat J.B. Pritzker, and as John mentioned, this is the time to do it. If Republicans are ever going to win in Illinois, it is this cycle, but we have to put somebody at the top of the ticket who can take out J.B. Pritzker, or else it doesn't matter. And so that's why I joined this team, and that's why I believe in this ticket. If you want to turn Illinois red, I believe we are the team to do it. So now I would like to introduce to you who I believe is the best choice and the next governor of Illinois, Richard Irvin.
Well, thank you very much. It's good to be back in Quincy here in Adams County. And I want to thank Jeff Mays here for inviting us yet again. This is the 3rd time we've been here, and we love coming back. But you know, even more important than thanking Jeff for being here, I'd like to thank the matriarch of the Mays family, Mrs. Mays, Jeff's mom. Very nice meeting, man. My name is Richard Irvin. I'm running to be the next governor of the state of Illinois. My background is I'm a combat veteran. I served our country proudly in the first Gulf War. I love America. I love the state of Illinois. I'm a former prosecutor who personally put violent criminals behind bars, gangbangers, drug dealers, wife beaters, and we've shut down drug houses. I've worked closely with the police to improve communities, just like the one I grew up in low-income housing. Now I'm the mayor of the 2nd largest city of the state of Illinois, with a track record of reducing crime by supporting our men and women who wear the badge, by reducing taxes, by expanding our tax base and inviting in new businesses and new residents, improving education by bringing our school districts together so they can communicate and share best practices, share best ideas, and share resources, and making a difference. We brought pride back to the city of Aurora. I brought excitement and energy back to the city of Aurora. We need to do that same thing for the state of Illinois, and we will come November. Under J.B. Pritzker, we know that crime is out of control. Taxes and spending is out of control. We know that corruption is out of control. And because of it, we've got businesses leaving the state in droves. We just lost Boeing that's heading toward the exit. We're losing residents by the droves because they're tired of dealing with the crime and the taxes that are constantly going up. We're losing folks because they're tired of the corruption. You just heard that Mike Madigan has been finally prosecuted after all these years of being involved in a criminal enterprise. But it's still there. It's out of control. Enough is enough. We've got to take a different direction in the state of Illinois. We've got to take our state back, and come November, we're going to. We need a governor who's tough on crime and criminals, just like I have been as a prosecutor. We need a governor who's going to support our men and women that wear the badge and our law enforcement that put their life on the line every single day when they leave their house to make sure that we're safe, just like I've been supporting my police department as mayor. And that's exactly why I've got the endorsement of the governor's own police force. The state troopers have endorsed me to be the next governor of the state of Illinois. And it doesn't stop there. The Chicago FOP, Chicago police have endorsed me. They said, we want to stand with you because we know you're the best thing for the state of Illinois. The Illinois FOP Labor Council has endorsed me, as well as 20 sheriffs throughout this state. From the north to the central to the south have endorsed me because they know that working together we can take back this state because it's out of control. You know, we need a governor who's going to reduce taxes and not raise them, just like I've done as mayor of Aurora, reducing our property taxes every single year that I've been there. Every single year. We need a governor who's going to fight against this Madigan Pritzker corruption that's plagued our state for decades, just like I have in Aurora, by making sure we have the highest ethical standards. We need a governor who's actually going to care about the people of Illinois and is going to do back and give back and make sure that we are in the best position to grow. That's my record. That's what I do. That's why come November, we're going to walk J.B. Pritzker right out of the governor's office and walk somebody else in. You know, we got to take our state back for those people that stay here and want to fight for Illinois, want to fight for our future. We got to take it back for those farmers. They can't simply pick their farm up and move it somewhere else. We got to take it back for the small business owners who have to make payroll at the end of every week while dealing with the red tape that you deal with state government, and dealing with the high costs of labor and materials that are happening around this country. We got to take our state back for the fathers sitting at the kitchen table, checkbook in hand, wondering how they're going to pay their mortgage at the end of the month as taxes go up higher and higher every year, and they're wondering if they can afford to stay in their family home. We got to take this state back for those mothers, wondering how they're going to be able to afford to put their kids through college because Illinois has so much uncertainty. We got to take it back for those police officers and every police agency throughout the state that needs to know that their governor, their leader, has their back, and as governor of this state, I'm going to have their back. We got to take it back for all of us. We're going to take this state back for every single resident of the state of Illinois. But listen, David Pritzker isn't just going to, as you heard, just going to allow this to happen. He's going to do and say anything to hold on to his power, the power he perceives as his. He's going to do or say anything. Matter of fact, he's already spent $8 million in negative ads against me. Now listen, this is a Democrat meddling around in a Republican primary because he doesn't want me to get to the general, because he knows if we get there, if this team, if the slate gets there, we're taking him out. So he's spending top dollar to make sure we don't get there. He's on track to spend $12 million more, $2 million a week for the next 6 weeks to make sure we don't get there. But we're not going to allow that to happen. No. We're going to do the work that we need to make sure we get across that finish line first. Because as I said, he's going to do and say anything to hold on to that power. But that power don't belong to him. It belongs to all of you. It belongs to all of us. It belongs to every resident of the state of Illinois. And we're going to take that power back from him and give it back to its rightful owners and return this to the true land of Lincoln again. And just like I brought pride and excitement and energy back to the city of Aurora, we're going to bring that pride, energy, and excitement back to the state of Illinois. We're going to take it back together. Let's take it back. So yesterday, early voting started. So we got to get out and vote. You've already taken 50 people to the polls to vote and cast their vote. We've got to take so many more. We've got to make sure that we have what it takes to get us across the line. I need your help. I need your support. I need your voice. I need your energy and excitement. Let's take this from now all the way to November so we can take it back, and I'm going to be with you. Standing, I'll be back down in Quincy, hanging out with you again. We're going to celebrate together as we take this state back. So God bless you here in Adams County. God bless America, and God bless the great state of Illinois. Let's take it back together.